and welcome to a new video. And in today's video, we're going to be doing Disventure Camp All-Stars predictions, which is my 300 subscriber special. Thank you all so much for the subscribers. I really do appreciate it. And this might be late, but we're still doing this. Anyways, a few disclaimers before we begin the video that I just want you all to know. This video will contain unpopular opinions. I do have unpopular opinions, believe it or not, so they will be mentioned in this video. I just want that to be known. This also includes spoilers for Season 1 and Season 2 of Disventure Camp respectively. Again, there's really not much more to say, but I'm going to be going into my very own predictions. These could not be accurate. It just will really all depend. The really only things, again, we got confirmed right now are the 18 campers, the 21 episodes, and it's coming in January 2024, which that's a very short time frame. A lot of videos to make. But anyways, let's just get right into the video. Thank you.
How much further?
According to the map, we're 2 kilometers away. Oh, do you need me to carry your luggage?
I don't need your help.
Hey everybody, so there's a very simple format that we are going to be going for this. We're going to be first going over who will be in the cast, in my opinion, and who won't be in the cast. Then we'll be moving on to the teams that the cast will probably be in. And then I'm going to give you guys a range of where they're going to be eliminated in and some arc ideas I have for them. Which arc ideas for all of them, no, they don't exist. And then at the very end, I'm going to be giving my personal worries for Disventure Camp All-Stars. Because as hyped as I am, there is some worries I've got. But anyways, here's what the priorities of the cast have to be. We know that there's going to be 18 campers. This was officially confirmed on Nation Cartoon's community post. We also know that this is, in my opinion, what's probably going to happen, is it's going to be equally divided between Season 2 and Season 1, so I knew I had to go for that, and I also knew I had to equally divide the gender roles. Of course, that's a given, but otherwise I had pure freedom to go for the cast. So anyways, we know who cannot immediately. The one we know can't is Oliver, because, well, he's a host. I don't think we're gonna be double agenting this. That'd be funny though. So here's the cast that I personally picked out. Starting off with the Season 2 campers, I chose James. Look, he won Season 2, and if Aiden's coming back, spoiler alert, I think he's coming back. He's probably coming back too, but I do think that James is gonna get out a lot earlier than Aiden, but that's later in the video to talk about. Anyways, Aiden. Again, he got like 3rd. I'll go more into depth with more ideas with him because he has a lot, because Aiden shockingly has a bit of potential because of how underutilized he was really used in Season 2. All he was really used for was James' arc. Otherwise, he's kind of not a useful character. I'm sorry, but that's all he really did, and I think you can just expand on him and make him do something more and make me actually care about him more, because I do like him, but I just want to see him do something, you know? Anyways, Rhea, look, I heard that some people don't think Rhea's coming back. I think it'd be the biggest waste of time, the biggest waste of potential in the Season 2 cast, in my opinion, if she did not come back, because Rhea can have a redemption arc, she can go more villainy. There are so many directions you can take with her, and it's just very interesting to see. But anyways, moving on to the next one, Lake. Look, Lake is an icon. I need her back. I need to see her slaying, because she was robbed. She should have won Season 2, but that's another debate. Anyway, need I say more? First off, he's a great villainous antagonist, and they barely used him in Season 2. Dare I say, just use him in Disventure Camp All-Stars. Make him the main antagonist. More on that later, but I think he would work so well, and he'd be so entertaining to see, especially with the Season 1 cast members. Imagine the Fiore New Alliance. It's too dangerous. It's too dangerous. Anyways, Hunter made Final 4, and let's be real, we've seen a leak of Allie. I know this is flipping to Allie, but anyways, Allie redesign. So they're gonna get redesigns most likely, and if Allie's coming back, we all know Hunter and Tess are coming back. Let's be realistic here, because they make each other's characters, so if one of them comes back, the rest have to come back. I think this is basically a requirement in the basics. Though I would like to see how Allie would do a bit of on her own or something like that, and I also want Allie to gain a personality. I love how this started off as Hunter and just sifted completely Allie, or whatever. And then Rosa Maria. Rosa Maria made Final 5, and I think she does have a little bit of potential left. I don't know really how much though, because a lot of what she could have done is just been done in Season 2, so man, maybe she'll get an early boot, wink wink. Anyway, Season 1, Jake. Okay, what will happen versus what I want to happen? Anyways, Anyways, Jake is so gonna get a huge focus in All-Stars. Let's be realistic. He got a focus in season 1. He's gonna be focused in season 3 because he has that potential to get the focus, and I just want him to see him redeemed realistically. Anyways, Tom, he's coming back, I think, depending if he does get rehired or not. At the time of this video, I don't know the finale. I don't know what's going on. But if he does get rehired, I think he really can't come back. Maybe. But I do think he's gonna come back for Jake's sake, because of course we have to fix whatever they had. I don't want it fixed. Please, just leave them as friends. I don't like them. I'm sorry. Anyways, Alec, he's so coming back. He's Final Four. And to me, Alec, I'm gonna go more to this later with this. He's such a complete character, but he's also not a complete character. I know that probably makes no sense, but that's later to talk about. Anyways, Gabby is so coming back. She was robbed again. Why are the most robbed contestants 8th place? What is this curse of 8th? You told you has the 5th place curse. Disventure has the 8th place curse. This is what we're doing. Anyways, Ellie is so coming back. I know if she wins, that will definitely depend on her placement. If she wins, she's definitely going out a lot sooner, but if she doesn't win, I think she can make another long run, depending on what they do with her in the season 2 cast, because she still has an arc to go with the season 1 cast. Yes, I am talking about Jake. Anyways, Fiora is so coming back. She's an evil child. I just need to see her interact with the season 2 cast mainly. And honestly, Aiden, watching all the seasons, I want that to really come into play, because it never was really useful in the previous seasons, but this can be useful. This can help us all. Anyway, Will, look, I know he was first boot. I'm hearing it, but I think his potential with Wishley, and I know the finale trailer came out, and it was released that Will already has his hand on Ashley's shoulder, so they might already be canon. I don't care, I can get more development. Plus, I think Will has a lot of potential for arcs himself, like overcoming his fears and stuff. But that's later to talk about. And if Will's coming back, Ashley's coming back. Let's be realistic here. They are a duo. I want to see them more, so I'm bringing both of them back. Realistically, I think it's either Lil and Nick or Will and Ashley, because I don't think, spoiler, Maria's returning. I think at that point, she's retired. She doesn't need to come back. And by our knowledge, so this season 1 takes place whenever, but season 2 takes a few years after season 1, and then season 3 is going to take a big decent time jump after season 1 and season 2, because we see that they're going to be having redesigns. So I don't think Miriam's returning, to be honest with you. I think she's just going to be chilling in her house with biscuits for the win, let's be real. Anyways, Dan, I think Dan's also coming back. Dan, he made episode 7. I think that's enough. And plus, he's good boot fodder. Look, I want to give him development. I want to see him have development. But what development can you really give him? I mean, I gave him an arc in my missed potential video, but maybe they can go for that route? Who even knows at this point? We're gonna go over who won't be in the cast, so let's just quickly get into that. I don't think Connor's gonna be in the cast. His interactions with Rhea would be pretty interesting, but otherwise he has really nothing to give. Lil and Nick would kind of be interesting, but I don't really think how they could really interact with the season 2 cast would be much more interesting than Will and Ashley would, and I just want to see Will and Ashley back. I really do. I like them more than Lil and Nick, so spoiler. The other cast members not making it, Kai and Maggie. I mean, Maggie had her arc. She doesn't need to come back, and I feel like Kai and Maggie, if one of them had returned, the other had to follow, and I don't think that either of them are coming back. I'm probably forgetting a few. Oh, Drew. I don't think Drew's gonna come back because, yeah, he was cool, but he was just used as boot fodder. That's literally his only purpose. Why would he come back if his only purpose was boot fodder? Although it does hurt me on the inside to admit that, because Drew was one of my favorites for a very long time. It's just, yeah, he was boot fodder and he remains to be boot fodder. So basically on to the teams. So for the teams, as this comment here said, it's going to be probably 3, the heroes, neutral, and the villains. So I'm going to be going over who I think is going to be getting into the villains. So obviously Yule in this cast is going to be getting into the villains. Fiora is also going to be getting into the villains. Alec is also going to be getting into the villains. Rhea too. James. And this might be a really hot take, but I think Hunter's also going to be in the villains. Look, is Hunter really a villain? Heck no, he's not. But I think it'd be absolutely hilarious. Like, just put Hunter on the villains team for what he did in episode 9. Although he realistically does not deserve that kind of fate, I think it'd be funny. He probably won't be. but I love it, and I love the idea enough, so I'm just gonna predict that. I think it'd be very, very funny. Anyways, neutral, I think Jake, Ellie, Aiden, Dan, Allie, and Tess. Neutral, the reason I need to put Jake and Ellie together on the same team, I'm not putting Tom, because Tom to me is not neutral. He is a hero in my eyes. He literally stopped, or rather helped stop the subplot, so hero in my eyes enough to just be moved to heroes. Aiden's in neutral because episode 9 exists. Dan, he's the definition of neutral. Allie and Tess, I just need to see them away from Hunter, and I think that'd give a lot more interesting, like just separating them on teams too. And then heroes, Rosa Maria, Lake, Gabby, Ashley, Will, and Tom. I needed the Ashley and Will on the same team, so there's that. Lake and Gabby on the same team, they better become besties, please and thank you. There's really no villain on the heroes team, but that's gonna change, wink wink. Anyways, let's just go into where I think these people are going to actually place anything. I think the first boot is going to be Hunter, and I think this is a widely predicted thing in the fandom, but I think it honestly makes the most sense. Like, I mean, you guess you can use the strategical side of Hunter, but really what more can you do? And I really want to see Allie and Tess just book it on their own. I want to see them develop without Hunter, and then just become the characters that they need to be. Because again, Allie, Tess barely have any personality. I mean, Tess has a bit more personality because she had that really sweet arc, but otherwise they don't have much, and I think if they're separated from Hunter, we can see that personality really shine, and I really want that to happen. So separate them and then just yeet Hunter out. Beautiful. Perfect. I think Dan's gonna be somewhat next in the early pre-merge section, because Dan, I mean, you can give him development as I said, but what really direction could you take him? I mean, he's Dan, yeah, but like, just putting him in early boot to give the other characters more screen time is something I highly suspect happening, but maybe my expectations would blow out the water. Maybe Dan will have this season-long arc, maybe. I just don't see that. Rosa Maria probably is going to go early pre-merge. Look, I'm already hearing it. Why is Rosa Maria going this early? Why is she going this early? But I get she needs to go through some development, but she can't be just the support character like she was in not episode 5, whatever, in season 2, because she needs to have an arc, and what arc can you really go with her? You've already touched on the teen mom part of her. You've already touched on her daughter. You've already touched on her backstory. You've already touched on that. What can you do with her? Yeah, you can give her probably some interactions with the season 2 cast, but otherwise there's really not much more you can go with Rosa. And I think her going early to the hands of a villain to really prove how villainous one of them is, even though they're on a separate team, I think that'd be funny. It'll also really show the villain, and I think her being a victim is a high chance of what might probably happen. I'm kind of hurt by it because I do like Rosa, but I don't know what else to do with her. Like, if y'all have any ideas for Rosa, I'd love to hear it in the comment section down below, but otherwise I think she's going to be very early pre-merge, like a victim to the villains, as I stated, and it's just, yeah, it's sad, but I don't know where else to place her, because what can you do with Rosa Maria? James. So James being placed on the villains team offers a lot of interest to me, because remember, he's transformed. He's not a villain anymore, he's a hero, but they'd still put him on the villains team anyways for how he was in the first few episodes, and using Aiden for followers, James. Yeah, that's not the most heroic thing. But anyways, I think he'd like be downing if he really changed, like having this existential crisis over the first few episodes, and especially since Aiden is not with him, he'd be even more hurt, because Aiden is the person who changed him for the better, the only person who really saw him as him in a sense. So I think it'd be very interesting to see that just develop, and then he realizes, I did change, I am a better person now, me and Aiden. It's just sweet, and he has this like wholesome figuring out that, and then he's immediately eliminated after he figures out he's a hero and he's a good person. So like right after his arc ends, he's just done. Maybe you can do more with James, but I really want him to go very early, which I do like James, but I need to see Aiden go on his own. I need to see it. I really do need to see that. Anyways, Fiore, I think, is also going to get an early pre-merge, more like one of the early pre-merges, because Yeah, Fiore can have an arc with Alec, but otherwise, I don't think there's much more you can go with her. Yeah, you can dive deep into her backstory, but, like, she doesn't give a care about her backstory. She doesn't. We know she don't. So what's the point? The only thing I want to see is her and Alec make up. So I think over, like, a few episodes, her getting one of the last early pre-merge boots is something that we can go for. Just giving her that development with Alec, making them become close again. And by this point, she's actually going to be, like, 11. I think, like, maybe she's even gonna be 12, maybe even 13. Oh my goodness, teenage Fiore era? Maybe. I don't think we're skipping that ahead into the future though, because it's like 7 years. Lord. But anyways, I think, again, all she really has is her arc with Alex, so you can just go through that and just boot her early. Because I don't think her gimmick's really gonna work here, because the season 1 cast all know what she's about. I mean, some of the season 2 cast probably know what she's about too, so I don't think this is gonna really end well for our Fiore, so yeah. And now we move on to late pre-merge, which might be my most controversial one here. So I think Will is going to be going decently with the late pre-merge. Look, other than Wishley and maybe like conquering his fears, you can't go much with him. And I think it'd be interesting again to see a first boot in this. Like, imagine saying, okay guys, here's the finalists. Oh, we also brought back a first boot. That'd be hilarious to me. And also, Wishley development. I think my priorities are very in line here. And more couple development for them, because even if they do become canon in finale, that is not enough. They need more development. Anyways, Lake. So I think Lake's gonna be going early, late pre-merge. Look, I'm hoping she won't be. I'm a huge Lake fan. But why is she going this early? Why? She should probably win. Yeah, she should win. But where can you go with Lake? She's already transformed into this powerhouse. Yeah, you can show her being this powerhouse and iconic girl. But what more can you go with her? She's already had her transformation arc. She's already had the development she needs. And this is an issue with All-Stars. A lot of the characters in this Disventure camp have already had their arcs. They don't have much whereabouts to go for. And that's an issue with Lake. Again, maybe they can surprise me and give her a new arc, but I really cannot think of one you can give her rather than her just being iconic. Maybe if you introduce the season 2 campers, I don't think she's going to have a relationship arc either. I don't think any of the season 1 campers work with her on that level, nor the season 2 cast, so maybe, I don't even know at this point. I want to again see Lake win. I want to see that, but you can't give her a winner arc when she can barely develop or have an arc of it at all. So that hurts me on the inside, but we have to move on. Anyways, next is going to be Allie. Allie at this point probably would have gotten some arc about her backstory a bit more, because we need to dive into that. We need to learn more about Allie. When did she start to like gaming? When did she start to play with her grandfather? Why does she like gaming with her friends and stuff like that? Just dive into why she does what she does and make her a more interesting character. Make her flaws known and just make me care about Allie, please. She made Final 6 and I still know barely anything about her, bruh. I just want to know something about Allie and learn a lot more about her, so yeah. But maybe, I think her going alone without Hunter would work a lot well, and then eventually she just gets booted, and then Tess can go on her own, because Tess to me is the most interesting out of the 3, and letting her go the most far, I think is a lot better choice writing-wise than letting anyone else go far. Maybe I'll be surprised. Maybe they can change my mind on that front. Who does truly know about if they can do that? But in any case, we move on to the next one, which is going to hurt my soul, but I think Ellie's going to be the last pre-merge boot. I don't think Ellie, though, can really realistically go farther, especially if she wins. She really cannot go farther than this, because all Ellie really has right now is her Jake interaction. She needs to fix her arc with Jake, and once that's done, we need to go to the Season 2 campers, but it's so hard to predict what arcs they're going to have with the Season 2 campers. Yeah, we know their personalities and who might blend well, but we can't really predict who's going to interact and who's going to, just hang out, be good friends, all that, so I don't know if she'll have a Season 2 arc, but I think it'd be very interesting if she did go this early, because then we can see Gabby rocking it on her own. I don't think she's really going to be happy to go alone, especially without Ellie, but again, I guess we will see. So now we move on to the early merge boots. So with our early merge boots, I think that Alec's going to be going. As I stated earlier, Alec feels so complete as a character, but also doesn't. Like, his backstory is completely complete, but otherwise, I feel like he can have so many interesting arcs, especially with the Season 2 cast. And again, he has this Fiore arc, so we have to go see that. And I think his interaction with Season 2, I'm highlighting this real quick, Rhea. I think Rhea would be such an interesting person to interact him to interact with, because realistically, they're actually pretty similar, and I find that very intriguing. Anyways, I also feel like the early merge is where he's going to be going. It makes the most sense for him as a character, and it works fine since it's Alec. I think Alec works in pretty much any boot. Wherever you put him, he can work. It just depends on how you write the character. He can even be first boot, and I think it would work fine, although I would be very offended that the Fiore arc would not be somewhat done. So, yeah. Anyways, Aiden. Look, I think most of us are thinking the same. I think we want to see Aiden without James alone. I think so. Anyways, without James, I know his character revolves so much around James. That's what makes it intriguing. That's what makes it interesting. Like, let me see Aiden alone, please. I want to see him be strategical, because we know he's watched every season. Use that to your advantage. I have this theory real quick, and I know this is such a weird place to put it, but I think that Aiden was inspired by Jake from Jake's season 1's gameplay. I think Aiden was very inspired and copied his gameplay. I think that's who he copied, and I don't think that was the smartest move on Aiden's part, but I think it's a very interesting theory to think about. Anyways, I want to see him not float. Anyways, and I know him making it a lot, not making it as far into the game, would be like, well, he should have floated in the end, and that's the lesson he learns. But at that same flip of a coin, it's all-stars. Making it to like 8th or something around that works fine for him in my eyes. And I don't want to see him make Final 3 again, and I don't think he'd work as a Final 3 again, so that's just me. Anyways, Tom. Tom is that one character I really did not know where to place in this, because Tom can, again, work anywhere depending on how you write the character. I do think he does need to make it a bit far, and the main reason I made him make merge is so he can have more interactions with Jake and we can see them talk a bit more, and I also want to see his interactions with the other Season 1 campers. Not the other Season 1, the other Season 2 campers. It's very interesting, and I also wonder if Tom would not like Ellie anymore, but I guess we'll see. Like, hate her still from Season 1. I'm curious to see if that fizzled out. Does he hate her, though? I think he does. Who even knows at this point? Anyways, I wanted him to make it farther than Jake because I like Tom a lot more than Jake. When I say a lot more, I mean a lot more. But let's be realistic, Jake is still making it farther than Tom anyways. Something's probably gonna happen to where Tom is screwed because of Jake again. Watch that happen. That's kind of funny, but also. Anyways, to the late merge, I think Tess is gonna be going late merge. I want her without Tess, Hunter, and Allie, and honestly, I'm curious to who she would drift towards. Honestly, I'm thinking Ellie, maybe, like an Ellie-Tess friendship, because they are kind of similar in the way they act. That's the best comparison I can do between the two characters. Actually, no, Aiden and Jake, sorry. But anyways, I don't know what other directions you can take with Tess rather than just making her, well, alone with Ellie and Hunter, and just developing her to be this, like, powerful, really good competitor, and then her becoming, like, 6th place or something along those lines. I think works good for her character. So making her make it a bit farther, making her make it proud for Hunter and Allie, and just having her have a fun time in this. And I think it would work really, really well, all depending. So anyways, next to our late merge, I think Jake. Look, I don't want Jake in the cast, and I really don't want him making it this far. But being realistic enough, he's coming back, and he's so making it this far. Because it's Jake, of all people. He has to have his redemption arc, he has to deal with his Tom thing, he has to deal with Ellie, and that's Season 1 alone. We haven't touched on his Season 2 interactions for whatever they have. So he's so focused on Season 1, and we don't even know his Season 2 interactions. And I actually do think he has the potential to be a good finalist. I said potential there, because if he gets redeemed well enough from episodes 10 and 11 of Season 1, because I'm still offended at how bad they derailed him, if they can fix him, I think he could be a great finalist, because, fun fact about me, Jake used to be my favorite character for a while. Am I slightly embarrassed to admit that? Yes. But still, he used to be my favorite character, and there's a reason he was my favorite character for a while. There was a good reason. Rhea is coming next when it comes to the late merge. I think she's gonna be 4th, and I think that would really work well for a character. Anyways, Rhea is the character I'm so excited to see in Disventure Camp All-Stars. She's the one I'm most excited for. If it's not Yule, it's her, because I need to see what direction they take with her. Are they going to give her redemption? Are they going to make her back to her villainous self? What direction are we going to go with her? And I need to see which one they go for, because it's so interesting to me. But I do think they need to be very careful with how they take Rhea, because Rhea's already taken, and Season 2 is very controversial among the fandom. And I do think they need to be really well writing this character specifically, her specifically, because she got kind of screwed with the writing in season 2. Please give her a redemption arc or just something she can do well, and I really want to see her make it this far because I think it'd be very interesting. Although I'm not the biggest fan of Rhea personally, I do think that she's gonna be the most interesting, and I need to see it. Anyways, on to our finalists, and I think Yule's gonna be a finalist, and I'm gonna be doing the final 3 because at this point every season's become a final 3. So I mean, what's All Stars if it's not a final 3? Let's be real. Anyways, Yule is our local main antagonist. I want him to be the main antagonist. Please don't make him first boot. If they make Yule first boot, that is the biggest waste of potential I think I've ever seen. He is such a little weasel, and I want to see him become a bigger weasel. Let him be this villain. And also, something I do want to see is I want them to develop his backstory just a bit. Look, there's 21 episodes. You got the time. Develop his backstory a bit, because isn't he supposed to be from North Korea? That'd be very interesting to explore, I think. Just exploring his character, his backstory, all of that. I don't know if we should explore why he's a piece of crap, because I think what makes him such a good piece of crap is they never explain why. But I do think a backstory would be very interesting for the character, and I also need to see him interact with Fiore. This is a requirement to the season, please. I will be crying in disappointment. I'm joking. If they don't interact, I'm crying. I'm joking. Anyways, I think the final battle should be Yule versus Gabby. So that leads us to Gabby. Some of y'all a few weeks ago, I forget who, I completely forgot, but anyways, that suggested like a Mal/Mike storyline, but with Gabby, and I have never been so sold on something really quickly in my life. Like, over the season, maybe giving her personality, just getting into her head a bit more, especially without Gabby, because I think Gabby is what keeps Gabby a bit at bay, and if Ellie and Gabby are just separated, that can really cause that to happen. And then once you do that, once Ellie gets eliminated, because her motivation across the pre-merge to get away from her evil personality, quote unquote, I don't know what she has, but anyways, we can see once Ellie gets out, her motivation is like, I'll see Ellie at merge, I can do this for Ellie. But once Ellie gets out right before the merge, that breaks her and she becomes this slight villain. She becomes this villain, and then over the rest of the season, she's trying to get back. And just overall, she becomes her old self again at the very end of the season, and also becomes that hero. Kind of like the Mike and Mel storyline, but I want to see it executed so well, because the storyline has so much potential, and I think you can do it really well with Gabby, because she's giving Mike, Izzy, and Courtney all in one to me. She's giving that vibe. Anyways, Ashley. I think Ashley's going to be our other finalist, like, out of the 3, and I know putting Ashley here when we aren't even sure if she's gonna make it is a very, very bold move, but I'm bold. But I think Ashley would be such an interesting finalist to go for, because Ashley is a character I do really like, and I do think she's very interesting. So going for that, I think, would work well. You could just give her a Wishley development, you can make her more powerhouse, and you can really make her just an overall great, great character, I think. And she's such a fan favorite among the fandom. Although I do think she's overrated, I think they can give her that fandom reception that's well deserved at this point. Like, you can give her a well-earned fan reception by giving her a decent, really good arc in All Stars, and I think her making it to the end would just be really sweet and cute. I don't think she's gonna make the final battle. As I stated earlier, I think that's gonna be a Yule versus Gabby, which I need to see go down. Yule versus Gabby is gonna be entertaining. Please stop for the finale, please. But yeah, those are my main predictions when it comes to All Stars, where the people are gonna place and all. Again, I'm not doing specific placements that much because we barely know anything about Disventure K All Stars. We've gotten one post confirming its existence, the amount of people, the amount of episodes, and its premiere date. So we just got the most basic of information. The Patreons have a lot more, which I'm not a Patreon, I'm too broke. But anyways, now onto my worries for All Stars. As I specified a bit earlier, a lot of these characters feel like all of their arcs have been completed. Going through the list at the basic, Rosa's already gotten what she needs. Like has already transformed into this butterfly. Basically, James has already had his redemption arc. Aiden has done nothing, so I guess he's fine. Rhea, yeah, you haven't concluded with her, but a lot of the characters, out of the 18 out of 28, there's 28 characters in Disventure Camp, and you're taking back 18, well, most of them are not even concluded, and they are just done. They don't need to come back. There's no need, and I think this is way too big of a cast. I love the idea of having 18 campers, don't get me wrong, but I don't think this really worked, and I think a better idea would have gone to be going for a season 2 rewrite. the reason I want a season 2 rewrite is now the entire continuity is messed up, and any new viewer that's coming is probably going to be confused as heck as to what on earth they're saying in season 2, because season 1, that wasn't what happened. So that's just going to confuse everybody. And the continuity is where my issue does lie with the rewrite of season 2, and they also can fix up a few major issues, and it would work really well in my eyes. And you can go for the same elimination order or something similar to it, or I think also good would be another season, because if you give another season and then you go for 18 campers, that's a lot better, because you have an extra season to pick characters from. You have a lot more to breathe through, and I think that would work really well. Plus, I do want to see another newbie season when it comes to Disventure Camp. I'm very intrigued on that. But that's just my opinion. I do think All-Stars can be really good. I think it has the potential, and I do think it will be better than Total Drama All-Stars. Then again, that really isn't much of a compliment considering how bad Total Drama All-Stars was, but yeah, I think they can do it. I just am kind of worried, and I'm very worried for character derailment, because they derailed a few characters, and I'm very scared that some of my favorites are going to be derailed. Please no. Please do not derail Lake, please. Nor Gabby. Please don't do that. I don't know, and please don't derail Ellie, please no. I mean, you kind of already have, but at that point, you know, we move on. Anyways, that is just my worries for All-Stars. I think I'm hyped, I'm ready, and I'm prepared, but I'm also really scared moving forward with this. Anyways, on to the conclusion of the video. But yeah, those are my predictions for Disventure Camp All-Stars. I am very, very prepared, very ready, and also we will see how this goes, and I'm sure it's going to be going great, and I'm very excited. Anyways, what are your own predictions? If I haven't heard them already, I'd love to hear them in the comment section, or if I have heard them already, love to hear them again. Anyways, thank you guys so much for 300 subscribers. It's actually a lot more than that at the time of editing this. Editor me can put up the current count if she wants. If she doesn't, I don't know. Anyways, thank you so much, guys. Again, I'll be seeing you later with another video. Bye, everybody. Bye.